Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. I'm a headliner.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today, where we are fresh off the first round of the NFL draft. So you know what we got to do. It's time to talk about some winners and losers. So in this video here today, talking about some NFL draft first round winners. And the first thing that I can say about a few of the people that we will talk about here in this show, or teams for that fact, there's a lot of bad teams that made very good decisions in the first round of the NFL draft. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time. We're going to get right into the list. Do me a favor, hit the like button to help us out here on YouTube. The first team, we got to start off here. I have to talk about the Detroit Lions, and no, not because Kyle can probably hear me recording at this point. The Detroit Lions, they were gift wrapped the number 2 pick, right? They actually got Aiden Hutchinson, a player in which we know that they wanted, right? They didn't know if they were going to have the opportunity to get him, thought he would go number 1 overall to Jacksonville. Jag's going to jag, right? So they passed on him, gift wrapped him, sent him to Detroit. Really feels a need there as far as pass rush. What about them coming back at number 12 then and selecting Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama? Now, sure, he may not be somebody who was a 100% full go at the start of the season, but now all of a sudden, the Detroit Lions are starting to take shape a little bit. Sure, Jared Goff probably isn't the future franchise quarterback, but he's more than capable of leading these teams to some wins. And now with Amon-Ra St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson, Jameson Williams, DeAndre Swift, the offense looking a heck of a lot better in Detroit, so they are definitely a first-round winner. What about Justin Herbert? And a lot of people going, Jake, what's Justin Herbert have to do with the first round of the NFL draft? Well, thank you for asking that question, because they spent the number 17 pick there in LA for the Chargers on guard Zion Johnson. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the Los Angeles Chargers are willing to spend high draft capital on an offensive lineman to protect not only their future franchise quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but give him time to deliver the ball down the field to the other weapons they already have. We know about Keenan Allen. We know about Mike Williams. We know they're in a division that's going to have to score points, protect their quarterback, and give him an opportunity to throw the ball down the field. Love the pick of Zion Johnson right there at number 17. Fills a need, right? They are building an absolute wall in front of Justin Herbert, and I love that for the Chargers. What about Jameis Winston and the Saints? Now, they spent the number 11 pick on Chris Olave. Love Chris Olave. In my opinion, one of the best wide receivers here in the NFL draft. And now, is that enough to get slant boy Michael Thomas to actually show up and play football this year? If it is, now all of a sudden, Jameis Winston has got Chris Olave. He's got hopefully Alvin Kamara in the backfield, waiting to find out what's going to happen with that pending assault case. We got Michael Thomas in the mix. And then they spent another draft pick on Trevor Penning. Maybe you have no idea who Trevor Penning is. Well, remember, they lost Terron Armstead, arguably one of their best offensive linemen here in the offseason. They needed a replacement. They got it with Trevor Penning, somebody who can step in day one and take that starting role. So love what the Saints did there for Jameis Winston's sake, at least for 2022, right? Because it's a little bit ugly in New Orleans, but after this draft, hopefully they have a little bit more firepower to go out there and make a run a few weeks, right? They're not contenders as of right now, though. Let's go double Big Apple. Let's go double Big Apple and talk about both New York teams. Start off with the Giants. The New York Giants got Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Now, sure, you're like, they're linemen. Why do I really care? One's on the defensive side, one's on the offensive side. And when you're trying to, rebuild a team, you do it in the trenches on both sides of the football. They got one of the most talented pass rushers in the draft in Kayvon Thibodeau. And then arguably, in my opinion, still somebody who's underrated at the offensive line position. This is a guy who was talked about going number 1 overall, and then he started to slide a little bit because of some quote-unquote injury concerns that they found. Honestly, we talked to the doc. There's nothing in his past injury history that's really a huge red flag that we know about. They got themselves a steal, and the New York Giants are doing things the right way there. But honestly, as good as the Giants did, the Jets did better. Okay, the Jets, in my opinion, won round 1 of the NFL draft. They walked away after night 1 with Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. That's literally almost like 3 top 12 players. Sauce Gardner hasn't allowed a touchdown in like 3 years. Garrett Wilson, one of the most polished wide receivers in this draft. And Jermaine Johnson, one of the smartest defensive linemen who's crazy talented, that slipped way further than anybody had planned. They talked about some character-ish. No, this dude is legit, and he could definitely be the steal of the first round for sure. The New York Jets building it the right way again, right? They're making smart decisions. They saw Zach Wilson start to progress last year, and they realized, listen, we got to start to put a little bit of a defense around this guy, give him an extra weapon on offense there. So now Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, love that pairing. Does Corey Davis make somewhat of an appearance here in 2022? We know about Michael Carter in the backfield, but the Jets, they won round 1 last night. The Eagles, are the Eagles fans finally happy? We say this all the time, right? Eagles fans just always seem upset. Well, now, even though you didn't get crazy draft picks, which I do love the drafting of Jordan Davis, a behemoth of a man on the defensive side, this guy is an absolute beast. But then you also added A.J. Brown in a trade from the Tennessee Titans. So now you have A.J. Brown. You have Devontae Smith. You have Jalen Hurts in the backfield. Do we care about Jalen Reagor? We'll talk about him probably in a later episode. But you got Dallas Goedert, because right now I'm feeling fancy. They got plenty of weapons. Here's the issue. Overall, it makes them a better football team. Fantasy football-wise, doesn't help out so much because Jalen Hurts isn't going to be a high-volume quarterback to feed all of these guys. However, it does make them overall a better team. You can't get any worse when you add A.J. Brown. So the Eagles, definitely a winner. What about Terry McLaurin? And everybody's maybe scratching their head. How could he be a winner, Jake? They drafted another wide receiver. You're right. They added Jahan Dotson in the draft. But when you look at the offense of the Washington Commanders, there's not a whole lot else on the passing side after Terry McLaurin. Curtis Samuel hasn't panned out. He just can't stay healthy. And the wide receiver room is looking a little bit thin. They have young guys with Diami Brown, who hasn't really turned into anything just yet. And now he may be somebody that loses some looks to Jahan Dotson, but that's okay because we need somebody on the opposite side of the field that's going to draw defensive attention away from Terry McLaurin so he has more of an opportunity. Did you watch the games at all with Terry McLaurin last year? The guy was continually double teamed and having to fight through multiple defenders and make contested catches. If we can get somebody on the opposite side that defenses have to worry about, Terry McLaurin could be a big-time winner. Same thing goes for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, they added Marquise Hollywood Brown. Sure, out of both Browns that traded teams on draft night, I would have preferred A.J. Brown, but Hollywood Brown definitely is going to fit well in Arizona. He rejoins Kyler Murray, in which he played with in college. He'll be opposite of DeAndre Hopkins, so D-Hop doesn't have to always worry about getting double-teamed himself. Now, they had A.J. Green, but A.J. Green literally retired like 2 times mid-route in 2021, and I'm really not overly excited for him here in 2022. We have Zach Ertz across the middle, Hollywood Brown to stretch the field, and DeAndre Hopkins to soak up a buttload of targets this year. If he can stay healthy, he is definitely a winner. And then we'll end it here with 2 rookies. First one, Drake London. Now, a lot of people hate Drake London. They want to use the hashtag half-ass opinion here. When they talk about Drake London, he's slow. He can't separate. So you're out there telling me with this opinion that you all think that, but yet NFL organizations, they don't agree. Listen, these guys are pretty smart. And is Drake London going to go out there and be Randy Moss? Is he going to go out there and be Calvin Johnson? No, he's probably not. But he can go out there and be a poor man's Mike Evans, and I am okay with that because he went to Atlanta and there's target shares aplenty, right? We have no other pass-catching weapons at the wide receiver position this year. Remember, no Calvin Ridley. We have Kyle Pitts. Marcus Mariota going to need somebody else to throw the ball to. Give him a big-bodied wide receiver that can go up and make the catches, especially in the red zone as well. I think this is great for Drake London to go out there and see huge targets his rookie year, along with Treylon Burks. Now, a lot of people had Treylon Treylon Burks comped to A.J. Brown. Kind of fitting that Treylon Burks went to Tennessee to replace A.J. Brown, so another guy who's going to step right into an immediate target share. You have Robert Woods, Bobby Trees coming off a torn ACL. Does he start a little bit slow? We know Tennessee isn't a huge pass-heavy team, but Treylon Burks is definitely somebody from a rookie standpoint that can come in and see right around 100 targets or so his rookie season, which is great. Great opportunity for him to put up some solid numbers in an offense in which we've seen some big plays before from A.J. Brown. Can Treylon Burks kind of duplicate that? He very well could, and he's somebody we're going to look at here in the offseason. But we wanted to put together a list, right? A few guys, a few teams in which we thought could be some first-round winners. So here's what we have here in this episode. Let me know, maybe you see some other things. By all means, there's a lot more names we could put on this list. There's a lot of winners in the first round for sure, but leave a comment down below. Which pick did you like the best? Which trade really caught you off guard? Were you expecting the A.J. Brown trade? Because that was absolutely crazy. We really enjoyed watching that here on the NFL draft live stream we had going on. Tons of fun. But I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Leave me those comments. Let me know your winners for the first round of the NFL draft. We're also going to be making a losers video, so make sure you look out for that. It should be uploaded on the site here pretty soon. We want to make sure we get that out before the start of the second round of the NFL draft, because then all of a sudden we have a lot more winners and losers coming up here in the coming days. Looking forward to doing that. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, a great weekend. We'll talk to you later.
I'm a headliner.